What's up guys, Mickle here, and in this video we're going to be covering a surprise filing in the Ripple SEC case out of Ripple, and this thing is monstrous. This thing is absolutely explosive, uncovers a whole bunch of things we have never seen before. You guys need to see this. This thing is crazy. In this video I'm going to go over all the things I found in this filing that I found super interesting, but afterwards I'm going to show you guys what all the different lawyers on Twitter are saying about this. Guys, we have already got some extremely interesting commentary out of John Deaton, attorney Jeremy Hogan, attorney Fred, and attorney Bill. You guys are definitely going to want to see what they have to say because they are extremely bullish on this filing out of Ripple and have made some very interesting conclusions that I have not even thought of to this point. This is a video you guys are not going to want to miss. I really do think this will go down as one of the most important filings in this case, and my mind has already been blown by some of the stuff that has been uncovered in this filing. Make sure you guys stick around for this whole thing. Last of all, we even have a special little segment of Gary Gensler getting wrecked at the end of this episode. This was absolutely hilarious, but no one deserves it more than Goldman Gary. You guys are definitely going to appreciate that. Like always, guys, if you are new to this channel or come here all the time, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It really goes such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it means so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link in the description below. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, just today we had a motion we were not expecting filed in this case out of Ripple, and this motion had to do with some questions Ripple had asked the SEC. They're called interrogatories, and pretty much Ripple was asking the SEC to admit to certain things. Just today, out of James K. Filan, Ripple's defendants filed motion to compel regarding the SEC's deficient responses to Ripple defendants' fourth set of requests for admissions. So pretty much what's going on here, because the SEC chose to sue Ripple, Ripple actually has the right to ask the SEC a bunch of questions that the SEC needs to provide Ripple the answers to. Because Ripple is the party being attacked here, the SEC is obligated to answer certain things to give Ripple a better idea of why this case was brought in the first place. Therefore, Ripple gave a whole bunch of questions to the SEC to answer, and to this date, the SEC keeps on purposely and intentionally dodging the questions. I know, who could have expected that? But what was so interesting about this filing is that it actually brought in a whole bunch of new pieces of evidence into play that us as the retail investor and spectators of this case have not seen before. And let me tell you right now, they are extremely damning for the SEC. Now, it's important to point out that the SEC was already in very rough shape in this case, so this is an extremely exciting development, and I think you guys are going to be really happy when you hear what the different lawyers following this case are saying about this motion out of Ripple. So the first thing you guys need to see is the SEC is refusing to admit the weirdest things in this case right now, and all the different lawyers following it cannot wrap their head around this. They are refusing to answer the simplest questions, such as if Jay Clayton gave a speech, Ripple would say, hey, can you admit that this speech happened? And the SEC will say, no, we can't admit that happened. So this is very weird behavior because these are very simple answers. Most of these speeches are literally listed on the SEC's website, and the SEC is going, no, we won't answer if that speech happened. Very weird behavior, but this obviously pissed Ripple off. This was pointed out by Ashley Prosper, and she said, oh my God, Ripple launches a valiant threat to subpoena Amy Starr, Hester Peirce, Bill Hinman, Jay Clayton, and Robert Jackson if the SEC fails to confirm public statements made by them. This is getting juicy. So right here, what Ripple's doing, they're saying, hey, if you're not going to admit to these simple questions, we're just going to subpoena all your officials, drag them into this lawsuit, and see what they have to say about your behavior. Obviously, if Ripple started subpoenaing people such as Hester Peirce, the SEC would be in huge trouble. Hester Peirce has very obviously and very clearly and very publicly disagreed with this entire case from the start. So right here, Ripple's putting their foot down and they're saying, hey, you know what? If you want to just refuse to answer anything, we'll drag all your officials into court and see what they have to say about your agency. Now, I do not believe this is going to happen because the SEC would be absolutely insane to bring all these SEC officials into this case. We know Hester Peirce straight up doesn't approve of the case, but people like Bill Hinman and Jay Clayton are just going to create even more problems for them. Bill Hinman and Jay Clayton are already wrapped up in their own issues, and I think this is just Ripple putting their foot down and saying, hey, you guys better stop playing games with us or we're going to make this really ugly. And this is really just pointing out how absurd the SEC's delay tactics are, that they are willing to risk the entire case just to delay things further than they have to be. Now, John Deaton responded to this and he said, if I were the judge, I would look at the SEC with serious anger. These particular requests for admissions only ask the SEC to admit that these statements of Clayton, Hinman, Jackson, and Hester Peirce. It does not require the SEC to admit the statements are relevant. So he's saying the court is probably pissed off looking at this. These are literally speeches on the SEC's website that the SEC is saying straight up, we cannot confirm if they exist. It's a straight up blatant delay tactic and a waste of the court's time. I believe this is a really bad strategy for the SEC because they are obviously already on thin ice here and they're just going to make the court even more mad. Overall, I just think this is an excellent display of the SEC's total and utter arrogance, and I think it's really going to come back to bite them later in this case. Let's keep moving though, because this next thing actually blew my mind. This is something we never knew happened. Breaking. This is out of Documenting Ripple. Ripple has been meeting with the SEC since 2013 about XRP and has not been told once that XRP could be a security, and they tweeted out, this is fair notice gold. I could not agree more. I had no idea that Ripple has been meeting with the SEC since 2013. That is insane. That's literally right when XRP was created. Ripple went to the SEC and said, look, how can we make sure that XRP is fully compliant? Do you see this as a security or not? And the SEC refused to provide any answers. How could the SEC even dare to come back in 2020, 7 years after Ripple started meeting with the SEC, and say, actually, this entire time, we thought XRP was a security, we just didn't feel like telling you, despite the fact that you came to us and asked for help. This is a complete and utter embarrassment, and the SEC is refusing to admit that this even happened. I mean, this agency is a complete joke. And I tweeted out, the SEC has always known that XRP is not a security. They knew since day one. That's why they never told Ripple, hey, we think XRP is a security. I said, this case is an absolute sham. I could not believe this. But even more interesting, and Ashley Prosper pointed this out, this is crazy, is the other people who were at this meeting back in 2013. Listen to this, because this should just make you so bullish on XRP. Who else was at this meeting? The Treasury Department, the Federal Reserve, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, National Credit Union Administration, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, International Revenue Service, Conference of State Banking Supervisors, Federal Trade Commission, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, Office of Foreign Asset Control, Federal Bureau of Investigation, and U.S. State Department. Guys, multiple of these agencies on this list have already declared XRP not a security. They were all at the same meeting. They were all at the same meeting with the SEC, and the SEC knew also that XRP is not a security. This whole case coming down the road 7 years later seems so staged, seems so sketchy, and seems like a complete sham. I tweeted out, stuff like this makes me really question how this case could possibly be real. Most of the agencies on this list have already stated that XRP is not a security, and the SEC even potentially also made this admission. We're gonna find out in the Hinman drafts, but guys, these are the things that you just cannot ignore. All these extremely high-level government organizations knew what XRP was in 2013. They have had their eyes on this thing the entire time, and no one ever had a problem with it. This should let you guys know right here that XRP was always part of the plan and is the plan. And Ashley Prosper tweeted out, off to buy more XRP. Guys, I could not agree more. The fact that all these agencies know exactly what XRP is, know exactly what Ripple is doing, how they're going to transform the financial system is actually one of the most bullish things I have ever seen. And now I can no longer ever question if so-and-so doesn't know about XRP. Guys, everyone knows about XRP. It is part of the plan. And the fact that all these different departments are involved with it blows my mind. Now, guys, I want to quickly show you what the different lawyers following this case are saying. I think it's really important to be paying attention to this. Jeremy Hogan points out that he believes almost every single motion that Ripple is asking for the SEC to admit will get granted. He also says that this is going to be XRP fair notice gold, and he believes that the SEC messed up big time by not admitting to such basic things in this case. At the end, he also goes on to say that he is completely shocked that this is the hill the SEC chose to die on, and he would not want to be the attorney fighting for the SEC. Notice that he said that this is going to be fair notice gold because this is going to become a common theme. Fred also tweeted out that he believes this was a huge win for Ripple. He believes this was a top 5 filing and needs some more time to review it, but he says bottom line, SEC is going down in flames. Fair notice defense has been completely lost by the SEC 100%. I really hope the SEC gets whacked by NetBurn because this is flagrant discovery abuse. Very strong words out of Fred, and Fred has been someone who's been very slow or more skeptical to declare wins for Ripple. He's been more conservative in his analysis, so to see him say this is massive. I now fully believe that the SEC is in huge trouble, and he thinks that this really is going to piss off the court and deliver a big win for Ripple at summary judgment on the fair notice defense. Now, I have been saying repeatedly that I believe now more than ever that the SEC is insane to take this thing to summary judgment. Just listen to what the lawyers are saying. They are saying that the SEC's behavior has been completely out of line. They're going to piss off the judge with this, and now you think the SEC is going to risk going to summary judgment against Ripple? No way. They would rather settle this case. If the SEC loses on fair notice defense, they are going to open the floodgates for other cryptocurrencies to fight back against the SEC. I don't think there's any way they let this happen. And according to this most recent filing and what the different lawyers are saying, it looks like the SEC is now one step closer to taking a huge loss on the fair notice defense. Now, Fred went on to point out, and I think this is really important, he says, just a reminder, he thinks this is a huge win for the fair notice defense, but not necessarily if XRP is a security or not. Now, he makes it very clear he does not think XRP will be declared a security, but he doesn't think this is necessarily a huge win on that front. He's just creating this distinction to give you guys a better idea that this is really two separate issues. Even if Ripple is not held liable for their sales of XRP, XRP could still be declared a security, albeit he says this is still very unlikely, and either way, still a massive win for Ripple. Now, guys, one of the funniest things about this filing is one of the most common themes we saw out of all the different lawyers is that this 100% was another delay tactic by the SEC. And just today, Gary Gensler went in front of Congress and said, hey, we need more money because we do not have the resources to properly do our job. Well, Tom Emmer responded to him, hey, Gary Gensler, you put all the SEC's taxpayer-funded resources into crypto crackdowns. Now you don't have the funds to do your actual job, so you're coming to Congress for more? You've got to be kidding me. Guys, the SEC is purposely dragging out this case. They are purposely spending more money, more resources for no reason. They are literally not even admitting to things that are so easy to admit just in the name of delaying. And John Deaton says that this is clear and obvious at this point. The fact that Gary Gensler now will go in front of Congress and say, oh, we don't have enough money, he is obviously, clearly, and blatantly wasting the money to drag out court cases exactly like we're seeing against Ripple. This is an embarrassment, but it is such a good sign to see people like Tom Emmer calling him out for this. Guys, don't forget the people who took a stand against Gary Gensler. People like Tom Emmer deserve some serious credit. It is not easy to step out of line and do stuff like this, but he is making it clear and obvious Gary Gensler is out of line. I think it's obvious at this point, but guys, either way, this was a very big win for Ripple, very big day for the XRP community. Obviously, a lot of analysis is still going to be coming out. I'm going to keep you updated, and we're still waiting on another huge filing out of the SEC. Like I said, this one was a surprise out of Ripple. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated on that. Make sure to stick around for more videos. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help so much. I hope everyone has a great night. And for now, Mickle out.